Welcome to A Place of Yes, a podcast about how I moved through my darkest hour. And for me, that was in channeling my grief into good. Welcome to the show. Hey guys, I want to share something super special about this episode. It's another episode that's sponsored by Freedom Concepts. Back when Jake was alive, one of my biggest frustrations was that it was so difficult to find comfortable and cool looking equipment. It just didn't exist 15 years ago. But now, Freedom Concepts has become an established and trusted name in the North American mobility market. And for those who don't really know what that means, let me break it down. Freedom Concepts is a company that makes adaptive equipment for people with special needs or medical challenges. And what that really means is they create things like bikes and chairs that make it possible for all kids to participate, to move, to play, to be included. And I love them for it. I love what they do. I love how they do it. And I love the way they show up for families. This special episode of A Place of Yes was made possible with their support. And it features two returning guests whose lives have been directly impacted by Freedom Concepts. First, I talked to Effie Parks, who's been on the show before. And this time we talked specifically about her son Ford and how much joy his Freedom Concepts bike brings him. Then I catch up with Perrier and Otis, also previous guests and Jake's Help from Heaven recipients. We recorded this segment at Otis's house with him chilling, literally, in his Freedom Concepts chill-out chair. You'll hear Otis in the background throughout the entire episode, making really happy noises and adding his own special energy. It's kind of the best. So today we are talking with one of my favorite people again, and I'm so excited because we are here with Effie Parks. For those who haven't listened before, Effie has been a guest on my show. I have been a guest on her show. Even though we live 3,000 miles apart, I feel like she's just one of my besties. So we are here today to talk pretty specifically about her son, Ford, and I'm going to turn it over to her shortly so she can share a little bit about him. But we're going to talk about a specific piece of equipment that he has and sort of what he thinks about it, what Effie thinks about it, and the impact it's had on their family. So Effie, welcome back.
Thank you, Heather. I've dubbed myself your bestie from the Westie, so there you go.
I love that. Perfect.
Okay, Ford, man, what a guy. He's 8. He's almost 9, which is bananas. Time is very confusing to me and how that happens. He has a rare genetic disorder called CTNNB1 syndrome. It's a neurodevelopmental disorder, so all aspects of his growth and development are severely affected. But one of his superpowers is his thrill-seeking, joy-riding, maniacal sense of humor and laughter, which I'm grateful for every single day. I think it was the only thing that kept me afloat several times, especially in the beginning. He's gonna get injured several times, but I can't stop him. He loves to feel the wind on his face. I always explain Ford to people as he's like Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump when Lieutenant Dan was up on that boat in the storm, screaming, "Come and get me!" That is Ford.
Well, it's funny that you say that, and I just had such a visual when you did the Forrest Gump reference, but you have posted recently a few videos of him in his chair or on the bike. Literally, if his hair was any longer, I would see it because and the smile on his face.
100%. And, I also just try to do that thing that's very annoying to parents like us sometimes where I'm like, he's a kid. He's gonna get hurt because, he actually did learn a lesson once when he realized what curbs were. It helped him flipping over and getting road rash on his face because now he understands what curbs do. So I kind of just go back to, one, he's going to learn a lesson, trial and error and risk and reward. And also, kids get hurt. Why can't Ford get hurt too sometimes? Yeah.
Such a huge and important comment because I do think, sometimes as mothers in general, right, we want to put our kids in I always think of those, I don't even know what they're called, but now, the big plastic balls that you can
the bubbles.
Those bubble things, Zorbs or whatever they are. But you can't. You got to let them. And I remember with Ethan, my healthy kid, I was always let him eat dirt. He's going to figure it out. And then Jake came along and I was like, no, we can't. But there's balance there because you've got to let them be kids. He figured out that curb is not his friend. He's got to
right? And
he's
now his vision isn't the best, but if we're in a new space, I will say, hey Ford, right here, this is a curb, right here, this is an edge. And he can have that sort of guide, right? I know he understands me for the most part.
Talk to me a little bit about, so you guys have a Freedom Concepts bike.
Yes, the
And
only bike.
the
Freedom
only
Concepts
bike.
bike. Yes. That's what I
And
tell
one
everyone.
of
It's
the
the
things,
best.
it really is the best bike. And one of the things that in talking with the company and, we at Jake's Help from Heaven have bought a ton of equipment through them. And that's when I first started to get to know, and I was always so kind of moved by how authentic it felt. Like they really did care. Like they were like, okay, let me talk to the team. Let's figure out what we can do. And they always came back at something that, well, it might not always been exactly in the budget. It was fair. And then we could do our work to get it taken care of. Their whole feel, right, is that they want, like kind of like you said earlier, kids to be kids, but they tailor these bikes. If there's a preference, they will tailor it for that preference. Like they tell the story about the kid who likes dinosaurs and then they put dinosaurs on it. Or there was one, I think it was like a kid who likes SpongeBob, and they found a way to have like a little SpongeBob decal. So talk to me about Ford's bike.
I love everything about this bike. It is the only piece of equipment I haven't said swear words to. So there's that.
That's awesome.
So I call Freedom Concepts, and this guy puts me on a video call and walks me through the entire warehouse, shows me how they make stuff, shows me how they keep stuff, shows me all the options that are available. It was the wildest thing of just how excited they were to give this kid a bike. It was so beautifully transparent, like you were kind of saying, right? Like this is really part of their heart and soul and their mission, and I could tell from the moment I spoke to them. Mate, we got this bike years ago. That's how long this has lasted, through Ford having a couple growth spurts. I think he got it when he was 3. He's almost 9,
Okay.
like I said, and this bike still fits him. It grows with the kid for, a while, depending on when you got it. And it grows with their mobility situation if need be. So when Ford first got it, Ford was, super floppy, couldn't hold his head up, couldn't hold his body up. So it had like all of the 5-point harnesses and everything. In the last 2 years, we've been able to remove. So it adapts in so many ways as the kid grows, if need be, which is very cool. It's pretty. It's just this bright electric green, and he looks awesome in this thing. And it's, again, one of the only things too that like people don't stare at in the most uncomfortable way when we're out in it. They comment, what a cool bike. And that's just such a relief too as a parent, because you're constantly getting stared at. Sometimes it can get on your nerves, but this bike really brings in conversation and they're happy instead of being awkward.
That to me is actually one of the things that I have found so cool about this, because I'm preaching to the choir here, but like the chairs and the standers, and I think we've talked a lot about standers and they get a lot of swear words. They're made to look, and I hate using this word, but I think it's sometimes the only way to make the point, is they're made to look kind of institutional.
Yeah,
like the wheelchairs are
like
just
medical, like archaic
designs. Medical items that are not fun colors, that aren't cool. It removes that whole thing about letting a kid be a kid, right? And I think that we push so hard for our kids to be accepted and to be seen as more than their diagnosis, but the equipment works against that. I remember actually Ethan, when we first started giving chill out chairs as part of Jake's Help from Heaven, he was like, I want one. I was like, dude, you don't need one. You're good. And he's like, no, but I like the way my body feels in them, and that's kind of the goal, right? Is like, we want it to be something that everybody looks at admirably, not looks at like, what is that?
Totally. It is. It makes things so approachable and fun, and the kids feel it.
Do you so what do you guys do? Like, can you do like family bike rides? Like what is like the best day you've had with that, which is such a corny question.
It's a little different with Ford, because Ford is very opinionated. And when we go certain places, like he knows the lay of the land. He has this weird memory of topography and like geography that is just wild to me. There have definitely been times where Ezzy has kept up on her scooter. Casey and I don't get on a bike or anything because someone has to be behind Ford just in case, because again, he's a thrill-seeking maniac. So especially if we're crossing a street or something, we definitely, grab a hold of Ford's bike. So yeah, Ezzy will hang out on her scooter sometimes for a while, but normally like we're at a place where one of us can go with Ezzy where she can ride her scooter this way or this fast or play at the playground, and one of us can be with Ford. 99% of our life at all times is dividing and conquering, but we'll trade. We might have this little pocket of time together where Ezzy's interested in going the way Ford wants to go. but they both have their different ideas of the day. Last summer's the summer that he's just like woke up
Clicked.
like in so many ways developmentally, and his legs started being stronger, and now he pedals and steers, whereas before we had to do both of those things for him. So every single second in this chair now is the best day of our life when he's in it, because I just never thought I'd ever see him pedal and steer.
So describe to the audience, because they may not always have an idea. So the bike is equipped for him to be able to sit in it, but for you to do the work if you have to do the work, right? Because there's the...
Yep. So it's a trike, right? There's 3 wheels. So you can set it to where he can't steer it. So, if there's a kid that's just going, wah, or if Ford's even being bad, like back in the day, he could grab it and just like take you off course. So you can set it to where they can't steer and it just stays in one place. And there is a handle that comes off the back of it. And the handle also has a hand brake. So if they are in control, or if you needed extra help stopping it, you can brake it while they're pedaling and being in control. Yep. It's like a, little turny handle. So I can steer the bike any direction and back it up and course correct him if he is in control. But again, I can also completely lock the handlebars to where he can't move them. But you can always control the bike from the back handle.
Which is so awesome. And I think it speaks to sort of what you just said. Like, Ford had this like summer of awakening where things are clicking. And that's just, for any parent, that's great. For our kids, it's just magical. This one piece of equipment can be used if he's exhausted, if he's tired, if he's acting up and not doing, for any of those things, he can still be completely safe. It can be like a PT session, because you can be like, hey, buddy, you're the one doing this.
Yeah, I'd love to just highlight that piece about the exercise. As one who literally got kicked out of PT yesterday, Ford hates PT. It's so hard. It's really painful for him. He doesn't like that classic sort of PT stuff anymore. I'm wavering between quitting again. But the only time that Ford actually gets a workout now is if he's in his bike or if we're holding him in the pool. And he gets way more of a workout in his bike. So the bike is it's literally the most important thing in our life right now for making sure that Ford's body is moving and that his bone density has something else going on. It's helping his cardiovascular system. It's helping his truncal control, and every single thing about the bike right now is 100%, other than riding a horse, Ford's complete top to bottom therapy.
And I think so many people don't understand that piece, right? Because they can think about, an 8-year-old is active, an 8-year-old is doing this or whatever. But, when you talked about like the bone density, and that kind of brought me back to Jake and the dreaded stander, but we had to put him in the stander because if you don't bear your weight enough, your bones don't get strong. They don't know what they need to do. These are different things. And it's not just like, if he doesn't get exercise, we have to worry about childhood obesity. No, you have to worry about development and bone structure and muscle structure and all of those things.
And their heart. I mean, the cardiovascular system, these kids are sitting like all day.
All the time.
And then something else you said about getting tired. I don't know if this even really goes into it, but I do want to mention too, like on our bike rides, this is also a mobility device. So I go into the grocery store with Ford's bike. So if we have to do something in there, I mean, we go in there because he likes the doors that open and shut. But like if I have to go get a tomato, I take Ford in his bike. I can control him, and it is his mobility device. I don't even feel remotely weird about it.
A lot of people who are listening probably know this, but some who are listening don't. Like the hardest thing in the world can be like, oh crap, I need, a tomato, or like, whatever you need, like whatever item it is. And people often think you just run into the store and get it. We can't just run into the store and get it. And I would imagine because he's almost 9 and he's got his opinions, like you said, it's not like, you're popping him in a stroller and getting it in. So the fact that this one device, like A, he loves it, B, he's getting benefits from it, but you can also say, hey, I have an errand to run.
Well, yeah, and I'm already out, right? So it is, if anyone listens to my podcast that's listening now, my relationship with the grocery store since the day Ford was born. It is intense. If I'm out on the bike and I'm in town, it's another step that I don't have to take, right? Another 20 steps of getting Ford packed up in his wheelchair, in the van, out of the van, and then good enough for me to hang onto his wheelchair while I try to buy something, not going to happen. But if he's already out, working out on his bike, feeling like the man, and I go in and grab whatever I can carry while maintaining Ford, I don't have to do all of that extra.
I love that. Like that's even like a bigger added perk. I love freedom concepts.
Me too. I mean, it's freedom for the whole family, right? Like it really is. I cannot talk about this bike enough in real life. Like it's funny you asked me to do this because I'm obsessed with them. And what it has brought to Ford and beyond is just really, really hard to describe because it is just undiluted joy, and it has given us It has given us so much as a family. It is Ford's mental health. You know how good it
Yeah.
feels when you move your body and you're in control of something. And it's so multi-purpose that I'm already planning on like, who am I gifting this bike to? And when am I getting another one?
You know, and we talk about it a lot at our board meetings about, and it's always, you know, my husband Brian's kind of go-to is like bikes for our kids, because one of the best things for kids, typical kids, is when they get their first bike, you know, or even their first trike, you know, like there's just that feeling of freedom that comes with a bike. And these bikes give that back. And it's not just a gift for him. And I like that you brought in like the whole family, because that's what Brian would always talk about. He's like, whether you do the family bike ride or not, it is a win for everybody because everybody's getting benefits from it. It's not just about the one individual who needs the extra support or help. It's about the whole family, because when the whole family unit is working well and happy and feeling good, then everybody, right? Like it's like we've talked about this before, but like our self-care or mental health, all of that, like ours needs to be on point too in order for Ford or Jake's or anyone's. If the family's off balance, our kids are going to be off balance too.
Yeah. I mean, and it's inclusion for us too, right? It's a whole family system like everything is. And it's important to recognize that. It's one of the things that doesn't make Ford look disabled. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'm talking about the stare and the questions and those moments. It's one of the things that people first have that gut reaction of going, whoa, instead of, oh.
And when you see those videos of him like going, like that you've posted some of them where like his hair's kind of blowing and he's doing all that, the first thing you think of is there's an 8-year-old boy having a blast. As moms and as parents, that's all we want. Like see our kid for who he is, not for what he has or what he doesn't have.
Yeah, and it reminds us not to underestimate them, right? Which we do. And it really helps us in that way too, to be like, there's progress. He can do this. He is learning. Oh my gosh, I'm so pleasantly surprised. I had sort of put a ceiling here, and it's a reminder to not do that, or to know that I'm always going to lift it. It's important to sort of have this moving idea of our lives, and things like this help you not get stuck.
And they help you be pleasantly surprised. I love that this one bike, like you said, he's had it for like 4+ years. And in the beginning, there was not much he could do with it. Now he is like maniacal on it. And that's awesome, like in the very best way.
Yeah, totally. I know. I love Freedom Concepts bikes so much. There's a local organization called Outdoors for All here, and they go to one of the parks every like Saturday and Sunday in the summer, and they have like 30 different types of Freedom Concept bikes. So that's definitely where I'm going to be headed on the weekends to see like maybe what else we could maybe do for Ford. If not, I would just literally get the same bike in the bigger size.
I was so impressed. So I think that's so cool to sort of see the different ones, because in some of my conversations with them, the ways that they can customize and the ways they want to customize, like is part of what makes me fall in love with this company, because they really do look at the individual. And even though they are producing these on sort of a larger scale, they're also producing them on an individual scale at the same time.
Even when you get it, like you order the bike, I think I got the bike in like 2 weeks. It completely put together. I didn't have to do one single thing, which was also a relief as a parent.
They're legit. They care. They're real people.
Yeah.
And they're making a difference. They're helping us.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, do it. Borrow one from your friend. I've lent Fords to my friend Rocket, and he could use it, and it was amazing. And so Rocket ordered one. This bike is like a portal in so many ways. But yeah, Freedom Concepts it's everything you wish that a company would be when they're dealing with our kids. This is the most heavy-duty, high-quality bike you could ever get.
Thank you, Effie.
You're welcome.
Thanks for listening to Effie. And now let's hear from Perrier. So we are very excited today because we are on location, which makes us feel very special when I can say that. But we are here with season 1 guest Perrier. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And even better, no offense, but we're also here with Otis, who's really the star of the show.
Absolutely none taken.
We are here because we are excited to kind of talk about the updates and things that are new and exciting for Otis, but also to showcase this pretty cool piece of equipment that we were able to purchase for Otis through Jake's Help from Heaven. but also that it's kind of a piece of equipment that, frankly, I'm a little jealous of. And I tell the story sometimes.
I've sit in it.
I mean, it looks so comfortable. It fits in so nice. And it goes back to, like, remember the older chairs, right? Where they were so almost like institutional looking.
Yeah.
And now, like, you walk in and it, like, matches your couch.
And I can lift it up.
And you can lift it up. It's so easy.
The fact that the sides come up a little bit more all the way around, I feel like I can take a shower while he's in his chair. I can leave him temporarily.
Like, you don't feel like he's going to,
I mean, a lot of the other seating, if I don't have the 5-point harness on, I worry he's going to fall out. I can't just leave him on the couch.
Exactly.
You know?
Back in, like, Jake's day, we didn't have any of that. And I would, like, have him propped on a couch with, like, pillows all around and pillows on the floor because, God forbid, he, like, rolled off. So it's just awesome. And what's cool about it, you can't even really tell with him sitting in it, but his butt goes down low. So that's another way to keep him super secured.
The way it's seated and the way his posture is, because his back is so curved, it actually is really the perfect seat for him. And regardless if he slides down a little bit in the chair, it doesn't really matter. It still positions him really well. So I'm super grateful because it's very lightweight and it's easy for me I travel with it. So we go down, he goes to see his dad in Brooklyn. I go out to Long Island to see my friends, and the chair fits in the back of the car. I'm able to put the bags and whatnot on top of it, and I can carry it in and out. And if we go, if one of the kids is a soccer game,
do you even bring it to, like, the soccer field?
Yeah,
that's so
because
cool.
if we're going to be somewhere for like a couple of hours, it's a no-brainer. The stroller can get uncomfortable for him, and he's just much more comfortable in this. So it's as long as I have somebody who can push him while I carry this or carry this while I push him, it just makes sense for me to bring it.
And what's also cool about it, because you raised the good question or a good comment about, like, the stroller gets uncomfortable, like the wheelchairs get uncomfortable. And it's, there's that fine line with kids like Otis or kids like Jake or any of the kids we work with at Jake's where positioning is so important, right? Like, it's important, but there's also comfort. There's that balance. So it's like you can't sit in the proper alignment, the proper positioning, the proper everything all the time.
And when they can't tell you, and he can't say anything. I mean, sometimes, like, for example, with certain pieces of equipment that he needs to use, like his braces or whatever, I won't know until I take the brace
that
off
it's been pinching
that
him
it's been uncomfortable. It's nice because, and he's also gotten more vocal over the years, but, like, I can tell now when he's not comfortable, and I have had issues with other seating. This has been a godsend for us, so I'm very, very happy.
We Freedom Concepts is the company that has made this chair. This company is out of Canada, and what's kind of cool, and I didn't know this until I sort of did a little research on them, like, and we've done a bunch of chill out chairs and we've done some of the bikes, but they started 30 years ago because the owner, like, before it was even a company, had a friend with CP who couldn't ride a bike. And he was like, I want to figure out how I can, like, make a bike for my friend. And he did it, and then it's sort of, I don't want to say it went viral because it was 30 years ago and things didn't go viral 30 years ago. But like word spread. And then the company started because their whole premise is to make seating or bikes or things for kids, for adults, but like kind of level the playing field, like make it so they can participate. And we, I interviewed someone else whose son, similar to Otis, a little bit younger, got one of the bikes and then has done now multiple triathlons.
Oh, wow.
Like, isn't that
that's
awesome?
So cool.
So it just has all of this opportunity to have kids be kids without being stuck in the sort of like labeled or, where they so often fall.
And I think also too, sometimes it's more in my head. Like, I don't want him to be in such a therapeutic looking piece of equipment just for, I don't know, for my own stuff. Like, I don't want people to stare at him or whatever. And now I really don't care because his chair is cooler than anybody else's. So.
Well, it's funny with the stuff that looks this cool too, is because I've noticed sometimes very typical kids will run up and be like, hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then that's...
Oh, anybody that brings a kid that's under the age of 7 or 8, they all want to sit in the seat. Yeah. And I mean, and he's able to rock it himself because we got the rocker version.
Oh, right.
So he's able to rock it himself. I have been using the footrest to be able to put his like movies so they're closer to him. But if the movie's not on there, he uses the footrest.
Just to like chill out and relax.
Like he loves it.
So give us an update on Otis. So I think last time we filmed, it was certainly season 1. What's new with him? I haven't seen him, I think, since we delivered this chair. I want to say he looks much bigger. And the haircut, I got to tell you, I love the haircut. He looks so mature and handsome.
He's great. He's going to be 14 in August. He's going to school. He's got his prom on Friday.
That's awesome.
The biggest new thing for us is we were accepted into Shriners.
Okay.
So we have gotten a lot of equipment, or not equipment, but like bracing
Okay.
and things, a backpack. Instead, he was wearing a big plastic torso piece.
Okay.
And he couldn't breathe well in it.
Okay.
So what they made him is like it's soft and it's Velcro and they
to
call
like
it
kinda-
the backpack.
Okay.
And they're going to get him one of those pressure mattresses.
Oh, I've heard a lot about those.
And they're going to do some adjustments to his wheelchair. Just lots of good things, you know.
That's awesome.
So, and it's
Keep him comfortable.
Yeah, and it's nice.
I have been working with you guys. I mean, I can't believe he's 14.
Since he was
Little, yeah, like he
4.
was little. So I
Yeah.
would say at least 10 years. So it's so great to see. Like for me, it's just good for my heart, really, to
Yeah.
see like these kids get older and grow, and you really develop friendships. So you know what
for
I mean?
Sure.
Like,
And with you doing your podcast with the Place of Yes, I've actually been able to see updates on some of the kids who I've passed,
Yes,
by when
yes,
we've
yes.
been doing things with you before. So it's great because I'm like, oh, I wonder what happened to him, And
Yep.
so that part of it has been really nice. And the chair, I mean, as far as the chair goes, we've just been so lucky, and we had a lot of choices. I mean, they were really all the paperwork that they came, because it was a woman who's his caregiver,
Okay.
or works as his caregiver for the state, who came with everything, and we got to pick out the color. They had certain sizes, whether we wanted to do stationary or we wanted to do the rocker. They also have one, I believe, that's on wheels, so you can actually move it. I think there was another harness option.
Yep.
There's some cushioning options.
I
So
think
I
they
really feel like they build the chair kind of like around the kid.
which is such an awesome thing about Freedom Concepts too, is because they offer so many things so that it can be like even something as little as being like, oh, I want it to be blue, right? Like I want it to be blue because it
Well,
matches in my house.
That's that's what I want. So that was a big thing for me, because I was like, I don't want a big orange or a big red chair.
Something that's just stands out.
And
it's
sometimes, like with his leg braces, and they're great. They let you pick, but I thought it was cute to do like a comic book. Yeah. And then after 3 times of him wearing them, I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, so I like that they work with you, and it wasn't just okay. I like that chair. He had to be measured. He had, they really.
It's really for Otis.
Yeah, they really made sure
Otis.
that it was for him. Everybody loves sitting in it, but it is for him. And so we were using the stroller until you told me that this was something I should look into. Yeah. And as soon as we looked into it, it was like, how fast can we get it?
And that's another thing I kind of like about the company too. And you know this very well. Anytime you're getting equipment, it can be, you can order a piece of equipment and you can still be waiting a year later.
Oh, yeah.
They work so hard to get it to you like in a very reasonable amount of time.
I think we had it in under 4 months. When you and Ethan came to deliver the chair, I was like skipping down the walkway. I was so excited. And when we put him in it, if you remember,
yes, right away.
He was so excited.
Right away.
So he's very particular. He'll let you know what he likes and what he doesn't like. And so far, we've gotten no complaints whatsoever from him. And the fact that it's something that I can travel with. His father's in Brooklyn on a second floor in a narrow hallway. This is so much easier, even though it's large. It's so much easier than carrying the metal heavy seats.
Which you can't even. When you said that, I hadn't even actually thought about that. But the fact that you pop it in the car, take it out, on so many levels, I love that. I love that because it just speaks to, it's a testament for the chair, about its ease and its use. And because so much of these things.
Super durable, because I drag it across the floor a lot. Super durable. Really easy to clean.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like the first ones, and I'm not sure that this is entirely correct, but I feel like the first ones we got were more of like a fabric.
Yeah. I could put some kind of a cloth thing down if I wanted to, but it doesn't need it. It's very easy. And also for a kid who is in diapers full time, sometimes they have accidents and they have leaks, and just to be able to wipe and wipe, it's so easy and makes my life so much easier.
When it comes to fabric for the chill out chair, Freedom Concepts offers a wide range of options. Whether you're looking for something soft and cozy for indoor use or durable and wipeable for easy cleaning, there are even outdoor friendly fabrics. So no matter your lifestyle, there's something to suit your home, your kid, and your environment.
Obviously it's about like Otis's comfort and all of that, but with our families, it's about the whole family,
Yeah.
right? So when it's easier for you, it's better for Otis. It's better for everybody.
Yeah, because when I'm less stressed, he feeds off of me.
100%.
So anytime I, and I have to remind myself of that because anytime I tend
Start
to get
to
a little,
spiral
and
or-
I spiral. Yeah. So when I do spiral, I can tell immediately like he's watching me like a hawk. But it's been awesome. And when we go to my mom's for holidays and family stuff, and I can just bring the chair.
And then you kind of touched on this, but you talked about like the different harnesses and stuff. And it reminded me that they also have, and I don't know if Otis would want this or not, but they also make like a tray for it. It's like a separate piece, but it comes and then it like opens and closes.
Oh, okay.
So I was actually talking to a mom and she uses the tray for feeding. So it's become his like feeding
that's
chair.
really cool.
And it's like, when he's done, she just moves it. It's perfect, So it's just another way to like incorporate the chair into sort of daily activities or daily needs for them.
I'm
that's
so
awesome.
glad that he's here now at this
time
in the world as opposed to 30 years ago. I don't think he would have had the life that he has now. I mean, he just in general, I feel like all that time ago, the labels were a little heavier and maybe fear was part of it. You didn't know what to do. But now he's included in everything. And it's really, it makes me so happy because it's easy to get lost, in a situation. And we don't have some of the typical things that other kids have, but they really are trying to make it as normalized as they can for somebody like Otis, and that means the world to his parent.
Well, you even said it before, right? And it's as simple as like when he's sitting in this chair, he's not being stared at. So then you're not getting like mama bear defensive or sad. Like I remember those stares. The stares would just make like it hurt your feelings.
Oh, of course. The only stares that I get now is that's the coolest chair I've ever seen.
And that's just awesome. Thank you for listening to A Place of Yes. Please follow us wherever you listen to your podcasts. If you really like this episode, please share it with a friend. It would make a world of difference if we could just reach more people and share the work that we do and the stories we want to tell. Thank you so much for watching.